Hi guys.
Welcome back. Welcome back
to another episode of the FlopSquad podcast. I need to. One day I won't sing it.
Why wouldn't you
in
sing
the
it
intro?
though?
But I just enjoy singing it for now.
Why wouldn't you sing it though?
It's really funny when people are like, "Oh yeah, what's your podcast called?" I'm like, "The FlopSquad podcast."
Oh, that's just cringe. You sing when people
I've basically
ask you.
turned it into a jingle. I have. I've created a jingle. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm a fan of myself because that is what you should be.
Sam, no.
Be your own biggest fan.
You're a fan of your podcast.
No, I'm a fan of myself.
Not a fan of yourself. What on earth?
I'm a fan of myself.
Anyways, cringe, guys. Cringe moment.
You gotta love yourself.
Cringe moment.
First.
Cringe moment.
Anything else is secondary.
Cringe moment.
Nobody cares for that,
Cringe
right?
moment.
But as long as you
Cringe moment.
appreciate you,
Cringe moment.
love yourself,
Cringe moment.
enjoy your own company.
All right, Barbie. We get it.
Anyways, so we're gonna kick off with the game, and and the game, if you guys don't remember the game, it's basically I say something in Somali, Nani says something in Portuguese, and we try to guess what it means.
Translate.
Who won the last episode? I don't even the score.
We both. I don't even think there's. Do you even remember what happened?
Yeah, I remember it was food related, and I got.
Are you sure it was food related?
I got it right.
Yeah, I got it right as well.
All right, so it was like, oh, okay. Anyways, we're supposed to be keeping a tally. We're gonna hope that
you guys can
the
do
man
it for us.
behind the camera is gonna keep a tally for us somewhere.
I don't think even he's doing it. I honestly hope that you guys are following
you
us
guys are
and
keeping
you
the
guys
tally.
are able to keep the tally of
We
what's
can't
happening.
count. Absolutely
And
not.
just let us know what's happening in the comments because we're not. There's only so much things, so much we can do for you guys.
Okay, so I'm gonna kick off, and you know what? It's so funny because every time we do this podcast, the words that come into my head are always food related, but I'm not gonna do food.
I mean, we've had that already.
I'm not gonna do food because literally did it last episode. Okay. Oh wow, I'm struggling.
Just say anything. Simple.
Okay, soba.
I didn't think that simple.
Soba.
Go up.
Close. No, it's a doing word. So yeah.
Soba.
Yeah.
Sounds like.
You said it right.
Soba.
There's a h behind it. Soba.
Soba.
I like it. Say again.
Soba.
Go on.
So it means running, walking.
No. It's something I would say to somebody. I'd be like, soba.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I like that. Let's go. Soba. Let's go. All right. So my turn.
Bah means go. You can just be like bah. If you say bah to somebody, it means go away, get out of here. Bah. Bah. Whereas a soba means come on. You get it?
Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that was a good word. Go on.
It is a good word.
What you got for me? What you got for me?
Why do they feel weird speaking Portuguese right now?
Fala português.
Okay.
That's it. I graduated. I'm kidding.
Eu adoro as tuas unhas.
Whoa. Slow down. Run it back.
Eu adoro
Yeah.
as tuas unhas.
You like something.
Yeah. Adore.
Yeah.
What do I adore, Sam?
Me?
Yeah, of course I adore you. But something specific
Okay, say again.
about you that you have right now.
Okay, say again.
Eu adoro as tuas unhas.
As tuas.
As tuas, yours. What am I telling her?
Clothes.
Nope, close though.
Shoes.
Closer.
Say the word.
Unhas.
Unhas. Nails?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Oh, that was actually cool. You know what? I'm actually getting better at this. I'm actually dissecting words here.
You know why you're getting bloody better at this?
Basically
Because
Portuguese at this rate.
you
Do
know,
Give me my...
First of all, let me go back to the European bit that you know.
Can I address the...
You know those languages, okay?
So
for you, it makes sense.
Here to the nation of Portugal, I am now one of you, and I am waiting for my citizenship.
She's waiting for that greenie.
Just throwing it out there.
She doesn't want the passport. She wants the greenie.
Yani, send me the passport. I am now one of you.
It's official.
But yeah, what are we talking about today, Nadia?
I don't know. What are we talking about today,
conversation.
We didn't give anything away. We're so mysterious today.
We're so mischievous.
We're so mysterious, guys. What are we talking about? Come on, guess. You can't.
We're talking about how Nadia is probably the most annoying person in the world.
Jesus.
You know what? Okay, so on the way here, we were having like a random conversation because I recently have been traveling. You know, I went to the Americas, like Christopher Columbus, and discovered the land and stuff. I'm joking. But I was just like, you know what's really interesting? That like, it's really fascinating to see Somalis in different parts of the world because I get to travel a lot.
Yeah.
Right? And be like, yo, it's the same culture, but different.
Yeah.
Everywhere I've been.
Yeah.
And I was like, and of course that's very normal in the sense that like we are as a byproduct impacted by like our society or environment. So I was just thinking about the fact that like, yo, like we don't really preserve our culture because our culture evolves. I was just thinking about like the concept of evolution, right? Like how things, like we pick the best things and we let go of the things that we don't like and it moves on. Like that's how culture changes and evolves,
and depending on which country you are, that happens.
And I was thinking to myself like, and then I was like thinking to myself, and you can already tell I'm the kind of person that just like has like hour-long debates in my head. And I was like, yo, so actually would that mean that if Somalis like grew and like stayed in these parts of the world and were isolated for centuries, like that we would all develop completely different cultures and norms? And I was like, yeah. And then I was thinking about like, actually then why do some cultures hold on to the culture stronger or like I don't know, preserve parts of the culture that other parts have lost?
Yeah.
You know? Anyways, yeah, it raised all these questions in it. And I thought, you know what? I feel like Nadia would be a good person to talk to about this. That's
you really sat there and you thought, yeah, that girl's gonna be interested.
I was like,
she gonna be well interested in this conversation.
Yeah, well, technically, you do live in my head, rent free.
So that's so true.
So like 99% of the time,
everything we do is like with something.
Exactly. So 99% of the time, yeah, I kind of know what you would say, but I don't know like
how you say it.
No, I don't know your cultural experiences and stuff like. And like how Angolan Portuguese are already confused.
I feel like I have a culture within a culture. Because it's not only that I'm from Angola and there's a culture there, but I'm also mixed race in Angola. So that's a whole different culture.
That's true.
And then a whole Angola mixed race in England. Well, there's also Portuguese. And then that's a whole different culture. And then you have this, you're also living in England. So you have all these different things that are happening as well within that culture that you've, and it's very different.
Talk to me. Tell me about it. Tell me about it, love.
And you feel the difference when you go back home.
Like, yeah, but that's like a direct cultural exchange, right? So like
you said, you went to America and you're like, oh wow, these people are like different, you know. Same. But yeah,
it's like an unsettling way.
It's like we're the like they're my people, but it's like, but the way you see the world is different. The way you do things is different.
And it is, but this is the weird thing, right? And it's really hard to describe. But it's like, it is not different, but it's different.
It's different.
Right? So like, we have the same values and principles.
Yeah.
But it's slightly different because of like the environment. I actually think, now that I think about it, I realized
Give us an example.
that the UK and the US are more similar. And then like we have more similar, UK Brits have more similarities with US Somalis than, did I say UK Brits? What the hell?
Yeah, you did.
I mean, UK Somalis, right?
Yeah.
We have more similarities with US and like Canada than we do with like Scandinavians. And I say that as literally a Scandinavian. But like we're very different.
Yeah.
Like Europeans and like and I feel like for example, like let's use France as an example, right? Like like being either you are a French citizen and you like strip away your identity, right? And you assimilate and you become French, or you'll always be a foreigner, you'll be an outsider, right? Whereas like in America, like there's no question of if you're British, like if you're American, right? And like it's like
at the same time,
you're like Somali American, like it's not you're an American. Once you've got your citizenship, you are American. You know, you've got that, right? And it's similar to a certain extent in the UK, where like once you have your citizenship, like you are a British citizen. You know, nobody's questioning that. Like Britain's been in everybody's water so much that like the multiculturalism here is huge. That like there are like all kinds of like British citizens in this country, right? That nobody's gonna be like, oh, but you're not actually British. You're not British. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas in parts of Europe, there is that question of like, but you're not really French, right? You're not really Belgian. You're not really Spanish. You're not really like your identity is questioned.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I realized like being in like the US, it's just the way in which like they spoke about like their country, you know, or like, you know, like serving their country. They do like it's just things that it's just like I was like that wouldn't come out of Somali mouth in the UK. Do you know what I mean? Like even I'll give you a really interesting example, right? So I went to like the Somali parade, like the 1st of July, like there was like loads of like Somali businesses and artists, and it was really cool. And there was like stall after stall after stall of like Somali police officers. When you think about that for a second. Somali
I
police
don't think I've
officers.
ever seen.
And personally, right, I don't like the police in general.
Yeah.
Right? So on top of that, see my own brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
In uniform. Strapped up.
Yeah.
It was rather triggering.
You don't
Do you know what I mean?
see that here though.
I needed a little bit of therapy after it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, this is actually kind of crazy because like, I mean, and it's to a certain extent what assimilation looks like. And like, we can go back and forth and argue about like, is it useful to have people of color in the police? Da, 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 da. Like we can have that conversation, right? That's a different topic, right?
Yeah.
As an institution, I'll never like the police. I'll never fuck with the police, and I don't think they're useful. But right, but that's a whole like
different conversation,
ideological debate, like just a different debate, right? Like, but it was just seeing people like it's my own people, you know. And I thought to myself that wouldn't run in the same way in the UK. Like if we had a Somali event, right, and there was like a stall of like Somali police officers, that would not go down well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas like over there, it was like, people taking pictures with them, people like signing stuff, that are part of the community, and I was like, this is just culturally different. Like, we're just very different. We're not. Maybe we're not okay with it because we don't see it as often. Maybe that's what it is. The sheer quantity of like a community in one place obviously changes like what they do and how they experience it. But yeah, that was just something that
I feel like America is very much about that. That's probably why like
about what
police and like policing, and I feel like that's why like
I don't think so.
The culture was very much into. I think so.
The UK is one of the most heavily surveillance countries in the world.
Yeah, surveillance is one thing. I'm talking about policing.
So it's actually crazy when you think about it. I don't think people realize how heavily surveillance we are compared to the rest of the world, right? Like we have very little rights to privacy. Like there is like in most of the world, like there's gonna be like loads of places you can go that you won't be filmed. You won't, you know what I mean? You have like your property. Like there's so much rights of like your a right to privacy, right? Whereas in the UK, there's very little places you can go where you won't be caught on camera.
Yet crime happens left, right, and center.
But it's not even like crime happening like left, right, and center. Like forget crime. It's like
everything.
I'm just being filmed all the time without my consent. Like I'm walking down the street. Like you can't go to work. You can't catch a bus. You can't catch a train without being surveillance. That's actually kind of crazy when you think about it. You know, because somebody's always watching.
But you don't really see it though.
It's like Big Brother. It's normal to us, but it's not normal to others. And I realize that when people come to visit us, and they're just like,
do people actually mention, "Oh, I feel like I'm being watched"?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. They'll be like, "Oh my God, there's like a camera outside the toilet," and I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, what? That's so weird. Why would there be a camera outside the toilet? Like, what about my
I
privacy?
honestly, I don't notice.
It's because like, okay, Nadia, have you ever been to a restaurant in the UK when there's not a camera inside?
I have not looked.
Right?
I wouldn't know.
Because it's no norm to us, right? Whereas like especially like in some friends are like in parts of like Europe, like Germany, like it's just like there's so much rules around surveillance, right?
Yeah.
That like it's weird to them when they see cameras. For us, it's so normal. I grew up with a CCTV camera everywhere in school. It was cameras in classrooms. Like it was just normal, like having cameras everywhere.
Cameras in classroom?
Yeah, well, at the entrance of a classroom, innit?
I don't remember.
I don't think there was cameras inside a classroom.
No, it wasn't. No,
I don't think you're allowed to do that.
No, you're not.
But anyways, I don't know how we got down surveillance. But surveillance is also like a whole nother thing. But the point I was trying to make is, that like it's really interesting how from country to country, the same culture is so different.
It's like they make their own little...
Yeah. Reality.
How can I put it? Not reality. They make their own little culture within the culture they already have.
Yeah.
And we
all have our own perceptions of like I remember people being like, oh yeah, like just judging from the way I dress, like you're from this.
Yeah.
You're Somali from here. You're Somali from here. And they all have like perceptions of like what a London Somali girl
Would
is
be like.
and like a perception of like what a Toronto Somali girl like looks like and says and like we all have like these like stereotypes, and I've really found it really fascinating because I was asking questions because obviously like I don't know US culture in the same way at all, like so they were just telling me like like Somalis from Texas are like this, Somalis from like like Chicago are like this, and I'm just like interesting because we have the same thing. Like I could be like Somalis from Birmingham are like this, Somalis from Manchester are like this, Somali, we have like those different like microcultures within our culture, which is really fascinating. So it was just really interesting to just hear like the amount of microcosms. Like imagine going to like Korea and like meeting the Somali communities and talking to them and seeing how they're different and like what cultural like things have they adopted and brought in. It's fascinating, man. I just think it's fascinating.
I feel like for us it's like, I don't know, I feel like it's different because like even though we do have like Angolans in different like countries, but I don't feel like it's to that massive, that you can tell like, like how you guys like, there's a massive group of Somalis in this country. There's a massive group. And that, I don't think ours is that big for us to be able to tell the difference.
That's true.
And I feel like we go back home too much.
Yeah. Yeah, you have the privilege of going back and forth.
Yeah, we go back home too much.
Yeah.
Like everyone, like one of the things that we have, like everyone that... especially the kids that come to city out here, we're always going back home. Always, like it's a constant thing. Like our parents tend to be there. And that's actually something that my grandma mentioned the other day. She was like, it's only now recently that everyone wants to get out of Angola because no one wanted to get out.
Yeah,
everyone loved being like they were fine. It wasn't perfect, but they loved it. Like we didn't travel.
What makes you think people want to get out now though?
That's a whole different podcast.
Oh.
That's a whole different podcast. But do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's only now that I feel like Angolans are actually like, I want to go. We need to get out. Like, and it's the whole family that goes. Because before, it's like, the daughter would go, but they'll come back. The kids, they'll come back. Even the mother would go back on holiday, but
should go to like they go to study or like for work.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's not like it's. I feel like, and we're always going back. I'm not saying it's everyone because of course it's different for everyone, but I feel like the percentage of people that go is not that big that we can look at like, oh yeah, we have these Americans in Angola. This is how they behave. We have this kind of thing in. At least like I haven't seen that. I haven't experienced that. Like when I go to Portugal, when I go to. The other countries I've been to, I've not actually met any Angolans, so like I wouldn't even know. But it all feels the same to me.
Yeah, I mean, you're right though. I feel like Somalis are we travel in numbers.
Yeah,
there's a lot of us outside of Somalia. So,
yeah, and it's 100%.
Yeah, so we do develop like these different cultures.
There's
and, like,
different, yeah.
And there's like huge generations.
It's a huge, yeah.
So wait, so you're telling me like all of your like cousins, like all of them have been to Angola?
Yeah.
So everyone goes back, like...
Yeah. I mean,
that's
we're
the thing.
planning, we want to go back again. Like, the only ones that have not, it's Soraya's kids.
Oh, but the babies.
The youngest. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But we are planning on
So
going.
you guys, that's actually really nice. I think that's the thing, though. Like, I don't think we go to Somalia often. Because, A, it's so expensive. But B, like, it was just not a stable place to go for a very long time.
Yeah.
Like, because of the war and then the instability and, like, just the political turmoil. And blah, 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 blah. But, like, even I went for the first time last year
And you were a bit...
in my life. And
Yeah.
even then, my mom was like, don't go here. Don't do this. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it was very, like, a regimented trip, like, which I hated. And, like, that's what I mean. Like, so there's not, like, I guess you have the privilege of being able to just fly into your country.
Yeah. I mean,
know?
it is expensive, but like I said to you, like, because the family is there, like, I feel like who goes away is, like, the kids and the mother at times, but isn't the whole family.
Yeah, no.
Do you understand? So we always have to go back to see the family, to see,
Yeah.
you know, and even if there's
No,
like...
of course. If my mum and my aunts and my grandma, like, if everyone was there, of course I'd be there all the time.
100%.
You know?
And the only reason, like, my grandma is, the whole family's here, it was because of the war, because we would have, like, my mum stayed. Even though she worked, my mum and my auntie, they both worked in Portugal for a while, but after they were like listen, like, this doesn't feel like, it isn't a bit of me, so I'm going to go back. You know, they went back. So it's like, it wasn't that they could have gone back if they wanted to, but they just decided to stay here.
Yeah.
But like I'm saying, like, it's, I feel like, from what I've experienced anyways, I feel like we tend to go back.
What about the similarities between, like, your mum and your aunties that stayed over there and your aunties that are in the UK? Do you feel like they think maybe differently because of, like, because it's been a couple of years they've been here, they've had kids here, they've raised kids here, you know?
I mean, it is different, but at the same time, like, it isn't like that big. For me, give an example, like, probably like the difference that would be like, I feel like it would be like more relationship wise than anything else.
In what way?
And like the way they see like relationships, I feel like that's where like I can see like the difference. Because like in Angola, like there's certain ways that they do things. And in the UK, because like, you know, you're in a country that the woman can, it's just the culture is different. Like it's like women and men both pay. While the culture in Angola is like the man has to provide.
Men pay for everything.
Even if you're just dating the person, it's like there's this certain, and that's what I've noticed, you know, that it feels different.
But no, but like, even though that's like the society, not like this, like a British culture, like say, like not even like maybe a Western culture of like, because I think the rest of us, like, it's very much a norm like that, like a man provides, a man take care, da 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 da. But do you think like your family's adopted that, like, by living here? Like, do you think they see that, like, when they're in the relationships and stuff? Like, have they adopted that?
Yeah.
Thought of like, okay, actually, like, now I'm in
We're gonna share it. We're gonna do it together.
Share responsibility and bills.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
Of course, when you're having kids, that's different. But if they're both working 100%.
Interesting. Okay.
Like, we don't. There isn't. But in Angola.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that the woman doesn't also help, but it's different. Like it's
the responsibility, like the sole responsibility is on a man, and it's and like men know that this is a responsibility.
Yeah.
It's not a conversation.
Yeah.
But I think this is the thing, though. I think the interesting thing is, and it's something that's coming up more and more, I think, like within our cultures as well. And like, I think it's still majorly the cultural norm, and like, I think the responsibility of a man. Even forget cultural norm, like it's literally like a religious expectation, right? As a Muslim, for the man to provide, take care of his household, like that's placed on him. And of course, there's like a lot of nuances between what somebody can do and what somebody can't do, and but like, it doesn't matter. Like, those nooks and crannies are on the point that it's the principle. It's a sheer principle, right? And so I don't see. I don't know. I can't imagine like you trying to say that your aunts or like just people that have, like, family have been here are like taking on that culture because they're here, or is it because they've taken on that culture because they are either dating or like with people that like have that culture and therefore they're
it's like this
adapting or assimilating.
So I'm here, yeah. If I'm in a relationship, yeah, which I was with a guy from Angola, but we were both here. So it was like I helped as well, you know, when we were living together. But when I went to Angola, like one of the things my cousin asked me, oh, how much money does it give you? And I was like, what? Like, how much does it give you?
Oh yeah, like how much does it give you as like upkeep?
Do you understand? Like, when are we ever here in the UK we're gonna have that kind of conversation?
That's interesting. So basically, that's actually really interesting. So the same person, it's actually like if they were here with you, they'd be like, oh yeah, we're gonna split everything. And then they'd be like,
I feel like even if it's done different, like, and it's even if it's at home, it's done, you know, it's done the same way as back home. But we don't really talk about, like, it's kind of like, it looks like they're both providing. But in Angola, it's spoken about, like, the fact that my cousin just approached me and asked me that, I was like, huh?
Yeah.
I was so confused.
It's actually really interesting because you're right. And I think it's the environment around you that influences
Yeah.
It's the people around
I feel
you.
like it's heavily, I'm not saying that here doesn't happen.
Because it's like people look at you and probably
But
like,
yeah.
you're not taking care of your woman?
Do you know what I
You're not providing
mean?
for- like it's probably like something that's like mocked and like
It's not exactly like, right, in Angola, like, you could probably say to your husband, like, who the hell do you think you are? Like, you're not taking care of me.
Yeah.
Here you can't. You know, like, it's not that you can't. Of course you can.
it's just
but
it's not the cultural norm here.
yeah. Do you understand? Like,
that.
it's
I'm
not.
with
We can argue about that in Angola, but here, who's gonna argue if you say that to someone? They're gonna be looking at you like, what are you talking about? Like,
Yeah.
what's wrong with that?
It's just different things that are norms in different places. That's really interesting. You think about now. Think about it.
Yeah.
100%.
And I feel like that's like, and like, it's with like here as well with the thing of like, we laugh about this sort of stuff. Like, if not abused, but like if there's like hitting with your kids and stuff like that, we talk about that. We laugh about it.
Smack those kids.
Yeah, do you know?
I'm kidding.
But like here, I feel like it's not really spoken much. But in Angola, you know, it's. I feel like there's just like those little things that like here, like because of the culture,
Forms of discipline.
Yeah, because of the culture.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, we always try to.
I do think though, it's
way.
dangerous because in places we do adopt like cultures that aren't like that are counterproductive to us a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, there's a whole thing of like what was it? I remember having a conversation with like some friends who are like now parents, and like being like, oh yeah, I'm gonna let my kids be what they want to be, and da 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 da. And I'm like, there's beauty in like, of course, like encouraging and like supporting your kids to like experience different things,
yeah.
But you're still the parent, you're the adult.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And you need to give your child also like guidance and like teach them right from wrong. And like you can't just be like, go out there and make mistakes and fall over. Like you're basically, because you still need to, there's a reason why kids need parents.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think there's like this thing of like the way in which we're raised, like with like set principles and da 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 da. Like, and don't get me wrong, like a lot of parents, like a lot of people like I've grown up with, like some parents can be very strict.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that your parents won't allow you to do and da 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 da. But the solution isn't to be like, now I'm gonna let my kids be free because I didn't get to be free.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's like a middle ground.
Yeah. But I feel like when you also move yourself from that culture, how heavily it is, and you move to a different country, I feel like your parent also becomes different because they're looking around, they're seeing how society is here.
Yeah, they do.
And they do become different. So I feel like
I think they become worse in the sense that like they try to like be like, oh, I brought my child to this like foreign land. Let me completely shield them.
Yeah, you also have the effect.
Let me completely shield them.
You get those
like,
that
I've done this, so I've got to protect them. Like I mean, especially for like the parents that like we're first generation children that were born here. Like those parents, I feel like we're really shielded, and like now we've kind of grown up with the world and seen it differently. We're gonna be a lot less shielded for our children.
Yeah.
Like that's the worst, and it'll just progress from generation to generation. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's just
what it is.
different. That's what it is. Anyways, I think we're just gonna wrap it up.
Thank you so much for watching, guys.
It's
We really
always-
appreciate
Always a pleasure.
the effort that you put into all this.
The effort you put into to watching.
I'm sure there's a lot of effort being put into it. So I appreciate.
That's when Nadi's just hungry, guys. Like she's genuinely hungry, and therefore, like,
You
just
stop saying I'm
just
hungry.
smell
They're
like
gonna be
Ali comes out of her
They're gonna
mouth.
be looking at every episode. She's always hungry though.
Actually, always hungry. I don't know if I've ever sat her next to her on an episode where she's full. I don't think I ever have. So
Should we tell you why? Because I'm being abused by you.
Yeah.
You wanna come record at times that are just inappropriate. You make me sleep at inappropriate times, so I have to wake up inappropriate times, late. So I have no time to actually eat proper food.
there's literally, you need to take
There's
responsibility.
abuse.
You're an adult. You're a grown woman. You
Oh,
need to take
now I'm an
responsibility.
adult.
You're a grown woman. You're older than me.
Oh, now
just
you
'cause
now
you look like a
I'm an
5-year-old.
adult.
You're older than me. Okay?
Now I'm an adult.
Like, show some leadership, please. Anyways, we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, guys.
We do love you. We do appreciate you.
Mwah.
Please like, comment, subscribe, follow,
Follow.
hit the notification button. I don't even
Whatever
know.
it is you need to do.
All of that stuff, just do it. Support it. Thank you. We love you. We appreciate you. This is